Money, 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 money. Who else misses that theme song? Just me? Okay. Hey everyone, this is McCoy. Welcome you back to another wrestling related tier list. Today we are going to be focusing on Money in the Bank. Since Money in the Bank 2023 is just 6 days away, at the time of this recording at least, I figured it'd be time to go back and watch all the Money in the Bank ladder matches from previous years to see where would they rank in this tier list. Now, Money in the Bank always was a childhood favorite of mine. It's always one of the pay per views I'm most looking forward to every year. It's just to kind of see the future of the company and who will be carrying the main event scene for the next few years onward. Unfortunately, though, in recent years, it seems like Money in the Bank seems to be just whoever gets the briefcase this year, other than who's the legit main eventer that will be carrying the company in the years to come. So let's get started, shall we? The first few years of it were a good indication, but the later years just kind of ruined it up. Well, we'll talk about it when we talk about the recent Money in the Bank ladder matches. Oh boy, I got a lot of things to say about those. First off, the WrestleMania 21 Money in the Bank ladder match. This one is always one of my favorite matches. WrestleMania 21, always my favorite WrestleMania. It's the WrestleMania I grew up with, so many classic matches, and this one was a great gem of a pay per view and a great gem of a ladder match to watch. You got Edge winning the Money in the Bank, Hank setting up his main event run in 2006 onwards. You got Jericho doing amazing things, Shelton Benjamin doing that famous spot in the top of the ladder, just running up towards Jericho and just clotheslining him straight out of nowhere. It's a great spot. You know, Benoit doing amazing stuff, Christian being a smart, hard and cocky heel, and Kane just being a complete monster. It's an A tier. It's an A tier Money in the Bank uh, ladder match. It's one of my personal favorites, and hopefully that would be a good indication of things to come, especially in the later years. Next up, WrestleMania 22's Money in the Bank match. One of the shortest ones on this list, but definitely a fun one. This is another childhood favorite of mine. Shelton Benjamin, once again, doing amazing things. Bobby Lashley being a powerhouse. Ric Flair taking that amazing bump that really could crack an old man's back. Like, 57-year-old at the time, Ric Flair, should never take that big of a high spot, and yet he did it. And yet he came back at the end of the match to do another spot with a ladder. That's amazing. But yeah, this one's always a good one, but definitely a lower one. To be sure, it's not as good as the WrestleMania 21 match, but it's just enough good to warrant a B tier. RVD winning was, of course, a good surprise. No one would. Well, it's an expected surprise considering what ECW is reviving that year. So, yeah, it's a good match, to be sure. Next up is the WrestleMania 23 Money in the Bank match. This one's a lot of fun to watch as well. Yeah, Edge and Randy Orton doing rated RKO stuff. Orton doing that amazing RKO to CM Punk right off that ladder. Jeff Hardy doing his crazy bump onto Edge on the from the top of the ladder, but which always irked me because Jeff had the opportunity to reach for the briefcase, and yet he decided to do his own WrestleMania moment, which is great, but really took him out of the match. King Booker did some good stuff, but Mr. Kennedy winning was a good sign. But unfortunately, what happened later with him forfeiting the briefcase to Edge was completely was a complete mistake, like on their part. Uh, but yeah, the match itself was great. Another classic Money in the Bank ladder match. It's good to rewatch these matches, and just to see how good had they stand up to the test of time. WrestleMania 24's Money in the Bank match. This one's also a lot of fun. CM Punk's first win. Shelton Benjamin once again just being the MVP of these early ass ladder matches, just being great. John Morrison doing that backflip from the ladder, is incredible. Chris Jericho got to do some stuff. Uh, but yeah, this one's just as good. I would compare this to like the WrestleMania 22 match, but it's not gonna be up higher than Mania's 21 and 23. This one's always like, eh. This one's okay. This was the point where I stopped watching wrestling, so um, as a kid, anyway. But yeah, this one's a good match to watch revisit. It's fun. WrestleMania 25's Money in the Bank match. This one's a lot of fun as well. Like, again, Shelton Benjamin doing the amazing dive from the ladder to below. Hornswoggle doing the tadpole splash was a funny spot that I still remember. To the it's just a funny spot involving the freaking midget just frog splashing through everyone, just kind of killing them all. Kane and Mark Henry got to do some stuff, which were amazing. This was also Kofi Kingston's first spot. Get ready to see him in a lot of ladder matches. CM Punk winning again. Kind of a downer ending at the time for me, but as I've gone back to rewatch it, it's an amazing transition to his heel run that will carry him in 2009 onwards. So yeah, this one's a fun one, but it's much better than Mania 24, but it still belongs here. I would still rank Mania 22 higher than this. So yeah, this one's gonna be higher than Mania 24. Just a better ladder match in general. Mania 26. Oh boy, this one, the 10-man ladder match. I watched this. This was one of the last matches I had to watch recently, and honestly, it's one of the most boring ones, to be honest. Not a lot of good spots, not a lot of high spots, except for Evan Bourne's Shooting Star Press or Matt Hardy's Twist of Fate from ladders. There's not really much to remember. I mean, Kofi Kingston also the stilts, though. I guess there is a lot to remember, but those moments don't stand up highly with the rest of the Mania ladder matches. This is by far the weakest of the Mania ladder matches. Um, Not a lot of hope spots. Jack Swagger winning was kind of an pick to win. Like, really? Over Christian? Over Kofi Kingston? Over even Kane or Dolph Ziggler? Like, Jack Swagger winning was kind of soured me in 2010. And yeah, this is going up in D tier, honestly. It's the weakest Money in the Bank match. Is kind of a boring match to watch. I would skip this if I ever get on a Money in the Bank binge watch again. Next up is the SmackDown Money in the Bank match. This one I remember this match as well a lot for some reason. It's kind of one of the most mid Money in the Bank matches, but it just has a lot of fun in it. First of all, Kofi's boom drop. Um, Big Show's incredibly funny, huge ladder that he used to win. Kane winning at the end was a deserving win in inside and became world champion and kind of dominated the majority of 2010 by that point. But it was a good match. It was a solid match. Nothing too special about it. Not too many crazy moments that happened. It was kind of a good match. It was kind of a good match to watch. This is going up in the. I don't like it as much as the Mania matches, but this is going squarely here. Next up is the Raw Money in the Bank. This one's actually a lot of fun compared to the SmackDown match. This one's much better. Maybe because it has main eventers in it, like Edge and Randy Orton and Chris Jericho. They all carried this match to good heights, but the real stars I gotta say are John Morrison, Evan Bourne, um, Mark Henry get to do some good stuff, and The Miz winning was a complete surprise. Uh, Really anyone can win Money in the Bank, and The Miz just proved that by winning it and then immediately becoming WWE champion by November. It was a good match. It was a solid match. Of course, there's the RKO into Shooting Star Press, which was really impressive. There's not a lot of moments that really strike me as memorable compared to the SmackDown match, but this one's certainly a much more balanced, much more well paced match than the SmackDown one. So yeah, this is going high up into the. This is better than the Mania matches, I think. And trust me, these are all my opinion, by the way. If you disagree on them, it's absolutely fine. You could absolutely do your own tier list. I'll put the link in the description below. Next up is the SmackDown Money in the Bank ladder match from 2011. Now, the 2011 matches. This era of Money in the Bank, these early like Money in the Bank pay per views is not really the Money in the Banks we look back on oddly enough. But Money in the Bank 2011 in particular is very notable because of that match. You know what I'm talking about. Um, but 2011 was nice. This one was no 2011 was not nice. The match itself were nice. These two matches in particular were nice. SmackDown one and the Raw one. Um, but there's just not a lot of memorable moments to this one. I mean, Daniel Bryan winning was a good surprise and definitely one of the better Money in the Bank holders than most other winners. Sheamus got to do his big man spot by eliminating Sin Cara from the match. Justin Gabriel and Heath Slater taking on Wade Barrett was pretty nice. Kane got to do his good stuff, and Daniel Bryan, of course, winning. That was just a memorable moment, but not too. But the match itself was okay. I'm gonna put it in C tier. The Raw Money Bank match was much better because it had Rey Mysterio in it and Kofi Kingston, Evan Bourne. All the amazing high flyers got to play in this match, and especially that shooting star press. The Miz, R Truth, good heels in this match. Um, really tried to put pressure on the faces with Alberto Del Rio winning, which is, well, you know about Alberto Del Rio in recent years, but in these ones, like, Del Rio definitely earned his spot here, winning the Rumble that in January and then winning here in Money in the Bank. A solid match, not too great, not too better than the 2010 ones and the Mania ones, but this was better than SmackDown match, I will say. 2012, the World Heavyweight Championship Money in the Bank. This one also this one also disappointed me. This I can remember nothing about this match aside from the winner, Dolph Ziggler, because he became one of the better booked Money in the Bank holders. But despite having the mid card champions in here, this wasn't a good match. Honestly, this one was one of the weaker Money in the Bank matches I had to sit through. It was just nothing really too memorable happened. The winner itself made sense, but everything else just kind of sucked. And yeah, this is going in D tier. Next up is the WWE Championship Money in the Bank. This one was full of main eventers. Maybe because my biggest issue with the SmackDown one is that there weren't enough main eventers that could carry the match into its good potential. Aside from Christian, maybe and that's your biggest name. Him when Christian is your biggest name in this match, you know the match is gonna kind of suck. This one is the exact opposite though. The WWE Championship Money in the Bank was a complete 180 compared to the world title one is that it is full of main eventers. You got Cena, Kane, Jericho, Big Show, and later on The Miz. It was an okay match. It's a solid main event level match, but this main evented over CM Punk versus Daniel Bryan for the WWE Championship. Like, come on, 2012 was kind of a crap year. Um, Certainly better than the 2012 one, the world title one, and the Mania 26 one, but not much better. Going in C's here, it's okay. It's a main event level Money in the Bank match. It's okay. Next up is the world title ladder match from 2013, the one with all the heels and one babyface, I guess, in Cody Rhodes. This was the only babyface amongst a sea of heels. This was okay. Another really okay match. Nothing too special about it. Damien Sandow turning on Cody Rhodes was only the biggest high spot in this match, but everything else, aside from the Shield appearing, there's nothing really too memorable about this match. Like the world title match, Money in the Bank matches have been kind of crap. Obviously, you got Mania 26, you got the SmackDown one here, and then you got this one here. Yeah, I'm gonna put this like above the Mania 26 one, but it's not going in C tier. It's kind of crap. Yeah. Meanwhile, the Raw Money in the Bank ladder match, it's called Money in the Bank All Stars. This one was a fun match to watch. It's full of previous WWE champions, aside from Christian. But everything else kind of clicked. This one was a much better pace. I would argue this is what should have been 2012's one, but this one was booked much better and certainly deserved main eventing over Cena versus Mark Henry. That's for certain. Match was good. Match was solidly good. You got CM Punk and Daniel Bryan carrying this match to new potentials. We got also established veterans like Randy Orton, Sheamus, and the returning Rob Van Dam doing his amazing high flying stuff. CM Punk turned on by Paul Heyman was a complete surprise. That sounded way out of context. Um, Paul Heyman turning on CM Punk. That was the big high spot, and then Randy Orton winning, which setting up the Authority in the future. That that was a good sign of things to come in later 2013. But other than that, the match itself was great. Hey, like this is solely like one of my favorites to watch. This is going on S tier. This is one of my favorite matches to watch. Certainly a good match, and really is a good indication of what a main event level Money in the Bank match should be. 2014, this one's a lot of fun as well. Like this one is a better indication of the mid carders than 2012 or 2013 was because now we get to only one match, one Money in the Bank ladder match per year, and this one 2014 was a lot of fun. Seth Rollins versus Dean Ambrose, that was the whole story of this match, and it really carried this match into new level heights. Plus the mid carders in this match, your Jack Swagger, your Rob Van Dam, your Kofi Kingston, and your Dolph Ziggler's, they really played their role well as support players. But it was really Seth Rollins versus Dean Ambrose. That was the whole story of the match. And, there was a lot of crazy spots that we'll still remember, like Rollins falling from one side of the ladder to the other, not breaking it, just bouncing off of it, which was one of the most dangerous spots you could think of. There was also that suplex by Ambrose, the Rob Van Dam 5-star frog splashes that were good. And of course, the end with Kane was like a little downer, but this one solely belongs in one of the better Money in the Bank matches, and certainly ones that new superstars should watch if they want a good indication of what Money in the Bank is looking like. Next up is 2015. This opened the show. And aside from John Cena versus Kevin Owens, this was the only worthwhile match to watch. And it's just okay. I mean, okay. Roman Reigns and Randy Orton both are the big stars in this match. Sheamus winning, kind of a downer, but it made sense at the time because he was a fresh new heel. Well, he was um a freshly heel turned Sheamus winning the thing made sense at the time. Like I kind of expected it to happen because there aren't really any. You're not gonna have Roman carry it. Certainly, you're not gonna have Kane or heel Kofi Kingston carrying the briefcase. Maybe face Neville, who was the MVP of this match, just going all out with the high flying. Um, Certainly one of the it's a solid match. This one belongs in the higher B tier. This one was definitely the highest of the B tiers we've seen so far, but it's not as good as the main 21 and 23 matches. It's just there. It was a good match. The winner made sense. Bray Wyatt coming in to uh, dispatch Roman Reigns was really funny. And yeah, next up is 2016. I love this match. At the time, him watching this, I really love this match. It made me want to recreate it in WWE 2K16 when I used it again. Like this match was fun. Like this match was pure fun. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens got to carry this match with Kevin Owens taking an amazingly dangerous spot with a ladder. Do not uh do do not do that slam onto the side of the top of the ladder. That is painful for your back. Cesaro getting to do that middle pull, that jumping off the middle rope into doing an uppercut. That was a fun spot. Just so many good spots, and it was a fast-paced match, but it's certainly one of the best Money in the Bank ladder matches we could find. And Dean Ambrose winning, and then cashing in later on Seth Rollins. That was just a cherry on cake. Uh, which turned Money in the Bank 2016 to be one of the best pay-per-views I've ever watched in 2016. It's just a fun match. Solely it belongs in the S tier. Much better than 2014's, but not as good as the Money Bank All Stars. It's just a fun match to watch. I really liked it. Next up is 2017. Well, this is the start of the women's Money in the Bank. First off, the women's Money in the Bank match from the pay per view, not the do over from SmackDown, which we'll get into in a bit. But this match was fine. This match was fine. It was going at a smooth pace, and then the main, and then the I feel like this match was kind of rushed while watching it live. They got all their spots in, and then the ending happened with James Ellsworth winning the briefcase, giving it to Carmella, just handing it straight down. Yeah, the match itself felt rushed. The do over from SmackDown was much better, although what should have really been the pay per view match. Um, but yeah, it was just a silly match. It's a silly rushed match with a silly ending. And I'm gonna have to put it in like here. I guess it's much well. Hmm, it's much better than the SmackDown match, but it's not better than the Raw match. I'll just say that. Yeah. If the do over from SmackDown was here, I would put it like above the Raw match, but the SmackDown match not too great. 2017 Money in the Bank match. This was a lot of fun, except for the winner, which made no goddamn sense. But um, actually no, the winner did make sense. Just the way the cash in happened was kind of shit, but the match was fun. AJ Styles got to do his crazy flipping crap. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens got to continue their rivalry once again, with Sami giving a exploder dragon suplex onto Kevin from the side of the apron, which looked really gnarly. Shinsuke Nakamura and AJ Styles, of course, having their face off, setting up their match for WrestleMania, their uh, balls based feud the next year, and Baron Corbin winning. Baron Corbin winning made sense until the cash in happened and the circumstances around his cash in happened. It was a good match. All things considered, it was a good match. Certainly deserved the main event spot over Randy Orton versus Jinder Mahal that year. Certainly, it certainly belongs in A tier, but I don't like it as much as the WrestleMania matches. Those are too special. Maybe for nostalgic reasons, maybe for childhood reasons, that I like these matches better. But this one's certainly a good modern match to watch. 2018 women's. Now, can I just say, from 2018 onwards, except for 2020, all the women's matches just look the freaking same. Like, it's the same samey women's Money in the Bank ladder match from here on out. All the matches look the same, the winner is just different. And it was booked the same way as well. I'm gonna be real, like, the women, like, they got it right in the first one in the do over, but they 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 booked the winner right in the do over by having her have a long reign with the briefcase. But the rest of the women's match, the cash in just happened like a day or even at the pay per view bureau itself. Like, can't they just book a strong women's Money in the Bank holder to carry the briefcase like Carmella did? Like, come on. 2018 women's. This one's the Alexa Bliss winning. It's nice to have the three horsewomen in this match, but if you added Bailey, like, this would have been a legit moment in time. Like, all the four horsewomen um doing the Money in the Bank stuff. If you just replaced Lana or just Lana, I guess. Everyone else though made sense to participate and they did a good match. It's just not as good as what it could have been. Alexa Bliss winning was the only real highlight. I'm gonna put it in C tier. It's above the Raw match to be sure, but it's not as good as the men's stuff, unfortunately. And speaking of men's, 2018 men's was pretty good, honestly. Like, this was solid. This was a solid match. Braun Strowman getting to drop Kevin Owens from the side of the ladder on the way to the floor. Made more sense if it happened in the ring and not in the arena, but whatever. The match itself was good. Lots of pretty good spots from all men. Good work by all 8 men in this match, and Braun Strowman winning was a nice touch. But it's certainly one of the more forgettable Money in the Bank matches if you want to binge it in hindsight. But watching it live and then rewatching it, it was good. It was solid. It was squarely belongs in the lower half of the B tier. 2019 women's. Again, these matches are the freaking same. All the women's matches look the freaking same. Bailey winning was a good surprise. I mean, the participants made sense. The match itself was fine. Not too many real high spots in here, but yeah, it was fine. It was fine. C tier. Not as good as 2018's, but still pretty eh. 2019 men. Now this is a match that really like amped it up to extreme. Like all of the high spots were here. Like holy crap, they were taking dangerous spot after dangerous spot. 2019 men's was a crazy year for Money in the Bank. Yeah, Finn Balor and Andrade doing that freaking Canadian Destroyer, Randy Orton going on a tear, Ricochet just flying everywhere, Drew McIntyre just tossing people left, right, and center. It was a super high fly centric match and lots of danger. It's kind of a dangerous match to watch in hindsight. A lot of uncomfortable moments sprinkled in, but I enjoyed this match. Except for the winner, though. Brock Lesnar coming in and destroying Ali's moment, tossing it. It was an unexpected one to be sure, but wish I wish just Brock just competed, and then it would have been much better. But yeah, this wasn't a fun match to watch. The winner bogged it down for a couple of pegs, but this one was just a fun, like car crash of a match to watch. And we come to 2020. The men's and the women's matches. The Titan Towers one, where they all had to climb Titan Towers. And you know what? To be honest, I think this is just my favorite Money in the Bank ladder match they ever did. Yeah, I'm gonna be that controversial. Like this is my favorite, one of my favorite cinematic matches they ever did. But certainly, like in terms of Money in the Bank, this has got to be the best Money in the Bank ladder match ever because it was different, it was unique, it was funny at times. For example, the food fight where the men's and the women's collided. Certainly my favorite women's Money in the Bank match, but also my favorite men's Money in the Bank match because you have the star power. You have AJ Styles, Rey Mysterio, Daniel Bryan, Aleister Black, all carrying it and all being amazing wrestlers in their own right. And the women are not too shabby either. You got Asuka, you got Nia Jax, you got Shayna Baszler, you got Lacey Evans. You got some good credible workers in there. And then of course, like the food fight, there's just a lot of fun moments in here. AJ Styles getting spooked by the Undertaker's room was funny. Dana Brooke having the fake briefcase in the Stephanie McMahon's office was really funny. The food fight itself is funny. AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan fighting in Vince McMahon's office was funny. And then of course the ending. Baron Corbin just tossing Rey Mysterio and Aleister Black. Trying to the only weird part of this match is Baron Corbin trying to prevent Asuka from winning the briefcase, which was primo dumb because they're both competing in different matches. It just happened to take place at the same thing. And the winners, of course, were complete fun. Like Asuka winning and then winning the Raw Women's title at the end of the night, end of the next week's Raw because Becky Lynch was pregnant, had to vacate the belt to Asuka. That was a nice gesture. For a lot of people hated that, but I liked it. And then of course the men's match have Otis winning, which was a funny spot. One of the most unexpected Money in the Bank winners. It's just fun. I really liked Otis having the Money in the Bank because he deserved it after carrying the WrestleMania 36 build with Dolph Ziggler, having it one of the best WrestleMania builds in 2020. It's just fun. Again, S tier, both of them. Both of them are S tier. Completely fun 2020 men's and women's. Would rewatch it again over and over. It's just a fun match to watch. Yeah. Next up is 2021 women's. Again, well, okay. The ending of this match was different, and it made Nikki Ash just had to scramble from the pile to get the briefcase. That was fun. That was a fun ending. But again, the match itself was kind of bland, to be honest. Like, Alexa Bliss and Zelina Vega got to do some stuff. Naomi got to show off her acrobatic skills, but in the end, Nikki ASH winning was the genuine highlight. Nothing much more to be said. This is going on C tier again, but this is going in the middle of the C tier. I like 2017 more than this, to be honest. Yeah. This one I'm comfortable with. 2021 men's. This one's fun. This one's a fun match to watch. I love Riddle's ignominious spots, just going in RKO heavy because RK Bro was a thing, a fun thing that I'll never get to see again. Um, the rest of the match was good. Like Drew McIntyre got to show off some good stuff. Biggie winning was fun. Seth Rollins was a genuine highlight. It's just a fun match to watch. A lot of crazy high spots, great action, well paced pacing by all men involved. This one goes here, like in the A tier. It's genuinely a fun match to watch. And then we come to last year's 2022 women's, which again, I think this one's the best one. Maybe because it's so fresh in my mind. I think this is genuinely of the arena women's Money in the Bank ladder matches. I think this is the best one, but not by much. Maybe because the star power was there, or maybe because like everyone got to play a role, which was fun. But again, this is B tier. This one was a okay match to watch. It's certainly above the rest of the matches here, but overall, just I wish the action is better, and I hope this year like the action is much better than it was in previous years. And finally, 2022 men's. This was fine. Again, this was a fine match to watch. Seth Rollins, of course, becoming MVP of this match. Theory coming in and winning after losing the U.S. title. That was fun. But cashing in on the U.S. title, it's kind of to be honest. Um, I don't like it as much as the Mania matches, but I'm gonna put it right here. Like, it's okay. I hope again. You see my indication here. Like the women's Money in the Bank matches kind of disappoint me for being either too fast or just not very memorable, except for 2020, and then later years men's just kind of fall into the same trap, except with a couple of exceptions. So that is the end of the Money in the Bank tier list. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope Money in the Bank 2023 impresses me, especially the women's because they got some legit star power in there, and I hope the men's does the same. So, thank you all for watching. Please like this video, leave a comment, and subscribe. Click that notification bell so you wouldn't miss a video when they come out. And tune in Money in the Bank. I'm excited. I'm excited what Money in the Bank 2023 has to hold. This has been McCoy, signing out.